Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the ZonaZoo Sports Report. I'm Maddy Rundin. I'm here alongside Ben Gabrielson, as always. Ben, it is nice as the weather outside gets a little nastier that we are protected from the elements in the studio.
Always good to avoid those blustery days here in Tucson, Maddy, but I don't even think the reenactment of Twister would keep fans away from Arizona Stadium this weekend, simply because this has got to be one of the most exciting weeks in recent Arizona sports history. As I'm sure many of you already know, ESPN's College Game Day is set to touch down here in Tucson on Saturday for the Arizona-Oregon football game.
It is the first time the University of Arizona has ever hosted Game Day, and people are working hard to prepare for the arrival of Lee Corso, Kirk Herbstreit, and the crew. But we'll talk about that much later in the show as we preview the Oregon game. But we have some other business we have to attend to first.
Absolutely, Maddy. In order to look forward to this weekend's game against Oregon, we must look back at this past weekend's matchup on the road versus California. It was a tough from the beginning for the Wildcat football team as the Bears were without their best player, Javid Best. He suffered a concussion last week and was unable to go in this one, but backup running back Shane Vereen was more than willing to step up to the challenge as he rushed for 159 yards, including a 61-yard touchdown run in the final minutes to seemingly put away the game for the Bears. But the game really turned on a wacky play by Arizona quarterback Nick Foles, who caught his own batted pass and threw again to an open receiver for a first down. Problem was, the refs, although slow and dangerous behind the wheel, they do know a thing or two about the rules, and they did call a penalty for an illegal pass. This penalty backed the Cats out of the potential go-ahead field goal range and had to unsuccessfully go for it on fourth down. The Cats fell to 4-2 in conference play, but still control their own destiny if they do win out against Oregon and ASU and USC on the road. So, Maddy, the roses are still within their grasp, but there are a few more thorns to get through.
That's right. While the football team struggled to another tough loss, Arizona men's basketball rolled to an easy victory over the NAU Lumberjacks at home in McKale Center. Sean Miller started out his tenure as the new Arizona men's head basketball coach with a bang. Arizona's first regular season game of the 2009-2010 season goes down as a win after they decisively beat NAU 87-70. Senior Jamel Horn continued his dominance both above the rim and under it. He recorded another double-double, scoring 14 points and grabbing 11 rebounds. Nick Wise commanded the court and scored 15 points for the Wildcats, but the top performance came from freshman Solomon Hill. Hill had a game-high 17 points for the Cats and became the first true freshman to lead the team in scoring in his first collegiate game since Hassan Adams in 2002. The Cats started out hot in the first half, shooting around 58%, but cooled in the second half and almost let NAU get back in it. One of the top storylines last year was how the Arizona bench was not too deep, and their primary scorers consisted of the big three in Jordan Hill, Chase Bettinger, and Wise. This time, the game was put away, partly because of the depth of the Arizona bench. Kyle Fogg added 10 points for the Cats, and 4 other Arizona players had 8 points or more. Arizona is still a young team, but there are guaranteed struggles ahead. But hopefully they can build on their experience each game and have some success on the court. Speaking of men's basketball, Sean Miller will be joining us after the break.
What do you do to relax and get away from it all?
Had an apartment right by the pool or in the courtyard. We'd have a little fun. We did what college students do.
Did you have any other hobbies?
Just basketball. I like to write history, English, and sociology. Typing. It doesn't get any better than college.
It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing. I'm a monster.
All right, welcome back. We're here alongside Arizona head basketball coach Sean Miller. Sean, great to have you on the show today.
Great to be here.
Thanks for joining us. It's your birthday, so that's obviously great for you.
Thank you.
Any big birthday plans after this, or?
No, just probably head home. 3 sons, dog, wife.
Right.
And, just probably have a cake and enjoy the beautiful weather of Tucson.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say it's 43 tonight in Cincinnati.
Yeah, no,
and rainy. So probably the light jacket is feeling pretty good right now. Okay, let's get right into it. Game against NAU this past Sunday. What are the positives and negatives, just kind of general overview of the game did you see happen from your players?
Well, you know, first of all, I think in the first game, we did some things very well. I don't want to be the guy who always says we have a young team, but the fact is we really do.
Yeah.
You know, 5 freshmen and 4 sophomores, and what complicates it further is that we're a new staff, and our older players, you know, for example, Nick, I'm his 4th coach in 4 years. You know, Jamel, I'm his 3rd coach in 3 years. So that total lack of familiarity across the board at times overwhelms us, and it stunts our progress. But we're a team that's getting better, and again, I thought we did a few very good things against NAU. I would say the area of concern in the game is just our overall defense. You know, we had several miscues and breakdowns that against better teams will really hurt us. But it was a good learning experience, and being able to watch film of ourselves and learn from that was very helpful.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you did have such a veteran team there at Xavier. So what would you say is the main difference between your team that you had at Xavier and, you know, this Arizona basketball team that you inherited?
Well, there's a lot of differences, one of which is me. You know, for example, I was the assistant coach at Xavier, was there, recruited a lot of the players. We went to the Elite Eight, lost a heartbreaker to Duke, and then I became the head coach. So although there was a change, I was very familiar with everybody in the program and what had happened before. And then, you know, I was there for 5 years, a total of 8. So when you're at a place for 8 seasons and you recruit kids and there's a culture, there's a certain understanding of what you do every day, whether it be on game day, in practice, in the fall and spring. That takes time, and that's being established at Arizona. But I think the word that people use to describe it is, you know, culture or environment. You know, what you do every day is the single most important thing you do to build a program, not just on game night. And we're learning good habits, and everybody's getting on the same page. Our young players are getting a lot of good repetitions, and I can't say enough great things about Nick Wise, his leadership every day.
You talked about, as you going along with that, you talked about Nick Wise and Jamel Horn being your veterans, the guys that have been here probably the most and been around this program. Are you leaning on them more towards to keep this team together, and not so much even on the court, but off the court as well, keeping that chemistry, which is obviously very important?
No question. And we're lucky because generally, even if the player's not the oldest player, the best players are your leaders a lot of times, whether you want to admit it or not. And you think about your own selves. And when you play on teams, Little League, you know, soccer, baseball, you know, who did you respect the most? The best players. So when they're good people, they're the oldest players, that makes them a true leader. And we have one in Nick. And to me, Jamel Horn continues to emerge every day. And he's right behind Nick and just really working hard every day and doing all of the things that a new coach wants him to do.